Vitinha plays a different sport. It's not the same football. You know, when you control the tempo and the rhythm of the game, that has to count for something. People always talk about people that can do step-overs and stuff like that and win the game, and I understand that. But Vitinha, the way he controls the game and defends, and it's a different sport.
Ici c'est Paris.
After counting 10 countries with the most skillful players on earth, you won't leave Portugal behind without them coming in 4th or 5th, and yet somehow you skipped his name. You mentioned Luis Figo, then Cristiano Ronaldo, maybe João Felix too. But you missed the boy who doesn't scream for attention, Vitinha. In a land of wingers and forwards who dazzle with flair, Vitinha stands different. His magic isn't in flashy tricks or viral moments. It's in the pause before the pass, the calm in the chaos, the way he bends a match without ever needing to raise his voice. He is the quiet storm that every great team needs and every rival fears. Born in Santo Tirso in 2000, Vitinha wasn't the loudest in the playground or the biggest on the pitch, but give him a ball, and even grown men would slow down just to watch him. At age 7, he joined Desportivo das Aves, just a small boy with a big dream. Then came Póvoa de Lanhoso, where he shaped his feet and mind before Porto saw what everyone else missed. A boy who played like the ball was an extension of his soul. Years later, they would say he never really sprinted. He just glided, never panicked, just thought faster than the rest. It wasn't just talent. It was a gift passed down like poetry, from the streets of Portugal to the world's grandest stages. And what started in dusty fields and local academies would soon rise into stadiums of tens of thousands. From Padroense to Porto B, from a brief test in England with Wolves to a $41.5 million move to PSG, every chapter of Vitinha's career has felt like a quiet rebellion against what the world expects from a footballer. No noise, no drama, just football. Today, he is not just one of Portugal's most technically gifted midfielders, but a symbol of what happens when vision, humility, and genius collide. The kid who once trained in shadows is now guiding giants. And still, he doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't have to. The game speaks for him. In 2022, PSG paid $41.5 million to bring him to Paris. And he made every cent count. In his first 2 seasons, he featured in over 90 games, helped clinch back-to-back Ligue 1 titles, and was named in the Ligue 1 Team of the Year. But beyond trophies, he became the heartbeat of a midfield packed with egos and stars. His intelligence, tempo control, and surgical passing brought a rare calm to PSG's often chaotic style. On the international stage, his journey from Portugal U17 to U21 was steady, but Euro 2024 changed everything. As a starter, Vitinha led Portugal to the semi-finals, completing more passes than any midfielder in the tournament. No goals, no flashy tricks, just authority. Now with nearly 30 caps for the senior national team and whispers of a future Ballon d'Or shortlist, Vitinha's story isn't one of noise or controversy. It's the kind of quiet greatness that sneaks up on you, until you realize he's been controlling the game all along. 2006-2007, the spark at Desportivo das Aves. In the quiet town of Santo Tirso, a little boy named Vitinha was already doing extraordinary things with an ordinary football. At just 6 years old, he joined Desportivo das Aves, a local club not known for producing stars. But it didn't matter. Coaches remember him not just for his skills, but for his silence. He played like he had a secret no one else understood. The way he moved, passed, and read the game, it wasn't just talent. It was a glimpse into something rare. Though only a child, it was clear. Vitinha didn't want to be noticed. He wanted to be remembered. 2008-2011, crafting the artist at Póvoa de Lanhoso. By the time he arrived at Póvoa de Lanhoso, his name was already starting to spread among Braga's youth circles. At this grassroots club, Vitinha wasn't surrounded by elite facilities or global scouts, just passion and raw football. He embraced the rough fields and the physical games, using them to sharpen his decision-making and balance. Every time he got the ball, he made it look like the game slowed down around him. No screaming, no showboating, just control. People started calling him O Maestro Silencioso, the silent maestro. And quietly he prepared for a leap that would change everything. 2011-2019, the Dragons apprentice at FC Porto, loaned to Padroense 2015-16. In 2011, FC Porto opened its gates to a 11-year-old Vitinha. This was the big leagues of Portuguese youth development. For 8 years, he lived and breathed Porto blue. From the U13s to the U19s, he grew into a midfield metronome, dictating play like an old soul in a young body. During the 2015-16 season, he was loaned to Padroense, a crucial part of Porto's youth structure. It was here that he proved he could handle pressure, playing against bigger, faster, stronger boys, and still shining. His technical grace became unmatched. FC Porto didn't just see a talented kid. They saw a future architect of their midfield. 2019-2020, breakthrough season at Porto B. 14 games, 8 goals. This was the year the curtain finally lifted. Vitinha made his senior debut with Porto B, playing 14 games and scoring 8 goals. A ridiculous output for a deep-lying midfielder. His most iconic performance came against Casa Pia, where he not only scored twice, but controlled the entire match like he was playing with a joystick. No nerves, just rhythm. Scouts began to take notes. Porto fans began to whisper. And the senior team? They began to plan. Vitinha's rise was no longer a secret. It was a matter of time. 2019 to 2022. Graduation to FC Porto first team. 38 games, 2 goals. That time came quickly. By the 2019-20 season, Vitinha was part of the senior squad. Though he only scored 2 goals in 38 appearances, his value went far beyond numbers. He played like a compass, always pointing his team in the right direction. In the 2021-22 season, he played a key role as Porto won the Primeira Liga and Taça de Portugal double. His standout display came in the semi-final of the Cup, a man-of-the-match performance with 4 key passes and complete midfield control. Clubs across Europe took note. Porto knew they couldn't hold him forever. 2020-2021, the Premier League challenge at Wolves, loan, €20 million option. In the summer of 2020, Vitinha joined Wolverhampton Wanderers on a 1-year loan with a €20 million option to buy. The Premier League was ruthless, quick, and physical, but Vitinha held his own. He played 19 matches and left his mark in a magical FA Cup tie against Chorley, scoring a thunderbolt from outside the box that ended up as one of the club's goals of the season. Wolves ultimately declined to activate the clause. Some said he didn't fit the English style. But those who watched closely knew he just needed the right canvas to paint his art. 2022 to present, rise to stardom at Paris Saint-Germain, €41.5 million transfer. PSG saw what Wolves didn't. In July 2022, they signed Vitinha for €41.5 million. Surrounded by giants like Messi, Neymar, and Mbappé, Vitinha didn't shrink. He became the glue. In his first season, he played 43 matches and was instrumental in PSG's Ligue 1 triumph. His best performance came against Marseille, where he controlled the game, completed 92% of his passes, and delivered an assist in a 3-0 win. In 2023 to 2024, he did it again. Another Ligue 1 title, more dominant displays, and a spot in the UNFP Ligue 1 Team of the Year. Paris fell in love with the silent maestro. 2017 to 2024. A growing force for Portugal. Vitinha's international journey began with a quiet debut for Portugal U17s in 2017. 1 appearance, no headlines. But that would change. He worked his way up through the U19s and U21s, showing consistency, vision, and poise. In Euro 2024, he exploded. Starting every match, he ended the tournament with the highest pass completion rate and the most chances created among midfielders. Portugal reached the semi-finals, and Vitinha's name was suddenly on every pundit's lips. He wasn't just filling a role, he was shaping a new generation. The quiet numbers behind the noise. At Porto B, 14 games, 8 goals. At FC Porto, 38 games, 2 goals. At Wolves, 19 games, 1 unforgettable goal. At PSG, 93 matches and counting, with increasing influence every season. For Portugal, a new pillar in midfield. He's not the viral sensation or the flair king, But he's the heart of every team he touches. Every transfer fee, from €0 to 41.5 million euros, was an investment in rhythm, control, and intelligence. The story's still being written. Vitinha doesn't scream for attention. He never has. But everywhere he's played, from Porto's academy to Paris's grand stage, he's been the quiet force that makes everything click. At just 25, he's already won multiple league titles, conquered 2 countries, and earned the trust of his national team. But you get the feeling he's just getting started. There's still a Champions League to chase, still a major tournament to win. And as always, Vitinha won't roar his way to the top. He'll glide there, quietly, brilliantly, like he always does. 2017, the first whisper at Portugal, U17. His international dream began quietly. Just 1 game in 2017 for Portugal's U17 team. No goals, no headlines, just a simple appearance. But to Vitinha, it meant everything. Wearing the national jersey, even once, gave him a taste of destiny. At that time, Portugal was blessed with talents, and competition was fierce. But even then, Vitinha wasn't discouraged by the limited opportunity. He knew his time would come. Not with noise, but with patience. 2018-2021, climbing the ladder with purpose. In 2018, he moved up to the U18s, playing 7 times. Still goalless, but building presence. Then came the U19s from 2018 to 2019, where he finally found his rhythm. 18 games, 3 goals, and countless magical midfield displays. In the U19 Euro qualifiers, Vitinha stood out with his sharp passing and game management, proving he could be the brain of any team. It was with the U21s, however, where he truly blossomed. Between 2019 and 2021, he made 22 appearances and scored once. But more importantly, he controlled the tempo of matches like a seasoned veteran. During the 2021 U21 Euro tournament, he was the heartbeat of a team that reached the final, losing narrowly to Germany. By then, there was no doubt, Vitinha wasn't just progressing, he was preparing. 2022 present, the silent general of Portugal's midfield. In 2022, Vitinha finally received his senior call-up. Since then, he's earned 29 caps, no goals yet, but he's never been about goals. His job is rhythm, control, structure. In Euro 2024, he cemented his role as Portugal's midfield anchor, playing every game and finishing with the tournament's highest passing accuracy. He didn't need to score. His intelligence on and off the ball made Portugal tick. While others chased the spotlight, Vitinha earned respect. His voice is soft, but his football speaks volumes. And as Portugal builds for the future, Vitinha's name isn't just on the team sheet. It's written into the very system they rely on.